Hello and welcome to LA Currents. I'm Saida Pagan. The March 2020 primary marks the beginning of some big changes in the voting process in Los Angeles. Not only will there be different polling places for many Angelenos, but the ballots will also be marked in a brand new way using the latest technology. Our polling places are about to change the locations where we cast our ballots. So tell us what we're in for.
The previous precinct model is going away. We will now have what is called voting centers. The idea is that you can go to any one of those vote centers. So instead of just the precinct closest to your house, you can go to any voting center that's most convenient to you, whether it's near your home, near your work, near a park. So while there were 5,000 precincts and then now will be about 1,000 vote centers, they'll be open more days and you can go to any one of them. Each location will be open for up to 11 days before the actual primary. So the idea is that it will increase your opportunity to vote or you can still vote by mail. So the whole idea behind all of this is to increase the number of chances and opportunities you have for it to be convenient for you to vote. Look it up online at lavote.net. They do have a vote center locator that's already live, and you can find the vote center that's most convenient for you to vote at.
Now, how does this new system address the needs of those with disabilities?
The idea was to go into different communities and take care of everybody's needs, to be as inclusive as possible. So the wheelchair accessible, making sure that the size and shape of the ballot marking device would accommodate wheelchairs. For the hearing or the sight impaired, that they can plug in and use just the same system as everybody else to vote. And the same thing with the language. If you want to pick one of the 12 different languages, you just pick that language on the screen.
Those individuals who are not registered with a particular political party, this is a presidential election year. How will they be impacted? I understand there's some new rules.
Right. If you are voting by mail, what would happen is your ballot would show up without a presidential race. You could vote in any other race except for the presidential race. Now, if you go to the voting center, then you have some choices. You can ask for a Democratic ballot, and the Democrats have an open primary system, so they will allow you to vote for your Democratic candidate. Or if you wanted to vote for your Republican candidate in the primary, then what you would need to do would be to re-register as a Republican right there. They'll allow you to do that, and because they have a closed primary system, but you can re-register to vote Republican on that day.
So it'll be fairly easy, although you just kind of have to keep these things in mind.
Right. It should be really easy.
Now, these vote centers, let's go back to them again. What else can you do? There are other functions, other activities that you can accomplish and perform at these centers. So tell us about the vote centers.
Well, you can, again, as I said earlier, you can drop off your ballot and you can register to vote. So those are two primary things that you couldn't necessarily do as easily in the past. You used to have to drop off your ballot. You should drop off your ballot at your precinct. Now you can drop it off at any voting center, or you can register to vote at any voting center, no matter where you live, as long as you live in Los Angeles and you're a U.S. citizen.
With the advances in technology, there's an app for all of this. So tell us about the app where you can use this to pre-select your choices.
Okay, well, as in the past, you were able to get your voter information pamphlet and your sample ballot. You were able to get it electronically. This takes it one step further and allows you to mark your choices, and then it is saved on a QR code so that when you bring it into the voting center, it will print out your choices. And I think what's important to note is that this is still a paper ballot system. So even with all the technology that is being utilized, that at the end of the day, what is produced is a paper ballot where your choices can be verified.
Let's compare it to what we've been doing. Let's place the two side by side. Let's talk about the old way and the new way.
The old way, you would have a 3x12 computer cards. Think of the 1960s IBM technology. We call them a 312 card because they were 3 inches wide and 12 inches long. And you were matching up numbers. So if George Washington was number 1, you would have needed to make sure that the bubble you marked was number 1. So you'd end up with a card of bubbles being marked. So if you made a mistake, and remember Florida and the Chads and all that, that was kind of, you know, an iffy situation.
Conflicting rules about ballots and fuzzy rules about what is a vote.
It's slightly detached.
Well, in this current way, what happens is you're using technology just to make the selection so we know exactly what it is you want. After that, it becomes a paper ballot. The device will print your choices, and you will only see those people who you've picked. So you will see George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Betsy Ross, and you'll see all the names, but you won't see all the other choices, just those that you've picked, and you verify that that's what you wanted, and then you feed it back.
It's literally a touch screen with instructions that are easily understandable.
I think it's so much faster and easier to just press and click the screen rather than like punching something.
This is as simple as like ordering food on like one of those terminals that they have.
I thought that the process was very easy, very streamlined, and I think our younger generation will be excited about it too.
Now, earlier we were talking about community outreach, and I know you did one event recently, so tell us about that.
Well, this morning we were out at John F. Kennedy High School in Granada Hills. So we were there with the Secretary of State doing an outreach event with the high school students. And the idea is that high school students or those citizens that are 16 or 17 years old can pre-register to vote. So it's important to get people when they were young to let them know that they do have a voice and that they can pre-register to vote, so that when they turn 18, they're automatically registered to vote.
They represent the biggest voting bloc in America, but they're the ones that register and vote at the lowest rate. So, you know, we're just driven by the data. This is where we can do more and need to do more to increase registration and turnout rates.
We go out to a lot of these types of events, both in high schools, we do some middle schools, to just show people how to vote, to just get them used to it. We go to a lot of different community organizations. We've done over 500 this fiscal year so far.
Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about this whole process?
Well, it has been interesting, and it has been 10 years in the making, because we knew our old voting systems were becoming antiquated, and we also knew that we had to do something to really walk the walk on that we care about what people have to say, and that we care about voices, and we care about voter turnout, and that meant making changes.
These are brand new machines, correct?
They are. This will be, they did try them out in one city in 2018, but this will be the first countywide election that the county uses the ballot marking device. This is the county's new ballot marking device that will be in use for the March primary, and it says, touch the circle to start. Now it asks us to insert our ballot. Now it says that the ballot has been loaded. Now it gives us a chance to vote for one, and it tells us that this is for the city local mayor. So it gives us these 4 choices, or we can hit more, and there are some other choices. So we are going to hit this one and next. Now it's going to allow us to review. Hit next, and it says, yes, I'm ready to print. It gives you the opportunity to go back one more time and check that each one of these races was what you wanted. After you've checked to make sure your choices are correct, then you feed it back into the system.
Okay. I'll let you do that.
And your ballot has been cast.
That simple. And there will be personnel on hand in the event that you have any questions while you're at the voting locations, correct?
Absolutely. There'll be always people on hand to help you.
Okay, so final words about what you should do. Start doing your homework right now to see who you're going to vote for.
Right.
And check the website.
Right.
For more information. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time, Holly Wolcott, the City Clerk of the City of Los Angeles. And thank you for joining us for this edition of LA Currents. I'm Saida Pagan.